Good morning, all of you. We are doing revision of History Chapter 1, the Nationalism in Europe. And this is the third part of the revision, that is the making of Germany and Italy. Can the army be the architect of a nation? So when we are talking about nationalism in Europe, moved away after 1848, and Germany and Italy came to be unified as nation states. In May 1848, liberal attempt to set up a constitutional monarchy at Frankfurt was suppressed by the monarchy military and Junkers. After the failure of the German National Assembly, Prussian Chief Minister Otto von Bismarck took the lead in the German unification. Now, if we will talk about who were the main architect of the unification of Germany, that is Prussian Chancellor or Chief Minister Otto von Bismarck, and the Prussian King William I. He was proclaimed the German Emperor in 1870. Now we will just discuss about the features of the process of German unification under the leadership of Otto von Bismarck. As the Frankfurt Parliament had failed under the leadership of King William IV of Prussia. But from then, the Prussian took on the leadership of the movement for national unification. And if we are talking about the Chief Minister, Otto von Bismarck, who was considered the architect of this process, he carried out the movement for national unification with the help of the Prussian army and bureaucracy. Bismarck was convinced that the unification of Germany could be achieved only by the princes and not by the people. He sought to achieve this aim by expanding Prussia into Germany. He followed a policy of blood and iron to fulfill his object of unifying Germany. And 3 wars were fought over 7 years with Austria, Denmark, and France. In Denmark, 1864, Austria, 1866, and France, 1872. These ended in the Prussian victory, which completed the process of political unification. And on January 18, 1871, in the Royal Palace of Versailles, the Hall of Mirrors, the King of Prussia, Kaiser William I, was crowned as a German emperor. And this ceremony proclaimed to the world the birth of united German nation. And the assembly comprised of princes of the German states, representatives of the army, and the important Prussian ministers, and the main chief minister, Otto von Bismarck. Now, after Germany unification, Italy unification. If we talk about Italian states before its unification, Italy was divided into 7 states like Piedmont and Sardinia, Lombardy, Venetia, Parma and Modena, Tuscany, Papal State, Kingdom of the Two Sicilies. If we are talking about the architects of the Italian unification, that is Cavour, Giuseppe Garibaldi, Giuseppe Mazzini, and King Victor Emmanuel II. Now, what was the process of unification of Italy? Like Germany, Italy had a long history of political fragmentation, that is, different states. Italians were scattered over several dynastic states, like in India also, as well as the multinational Habsburg Empire. During the middle of the 19th century, as I told you, Italy divided into 7 states, of which only Sardinia Piedmont was ruled by an Italian princely house. The unification process was led by 3 revolutionaries, that is Mazzini, Cavour, and Garibaldi. As early as 1830s, if you're talking about 1830s, Mazzini sought to put together a program for the unification of Italian Republic, and this is the reason he organized a secret society. Do you remember the name of the society, secret society, which we have?
Yes, ma'am.
What was the name?
Young Italy.
Ma'am, Young
and
Italy and Young Mercedes and Barney.
Yes. Young Italy, with the failure of revolutionary uprising in 1831 and 1848. So now the responsibility fell on Sardinia Piedmont under its ruler, King Victor Emmanuel II, to unify the Italian states through war. Cavour, who was the chief minister of King Victor Emmanuel II, through a tactful diplomatic alliances with France, and by defeating Austrian forces in 1859, they acquired the north under Austrian Habsburg. Then 1860, Garibaldi, hero of red shirts, with armed volunteers, acquired the South Kingdom of Italy and 2 Sicilies by driving out the Spanish rulers in the famous expedition of the Thousand of South Italy. He succeeded in winning the support of the local peasants. And finally, 1861, the first Italian parliament, representing whole of Italy, except Venetia and the papal city of Rome, formally conferred on Victor Emmanuel the title of King of Italy. Venetia and Rome were added in 1866 and 1870. Homogeneity of language. The same language. Strong nationalist cultural movements. Growth of rail, roads, and possibility of economic development and political dominance. These all were the factors which prepared the ground for Italian unification prior to its becoming a reality. So now, it's Germany, Italy, and next, the strange case of Britain. No British nation before 18th century. Ethnic groups, as we have discussed in political science chapter number 1, ethnic groups in Belgium, ethnic groups in Sri Lanka. So ethnic groups like English, Welsh, and Scots inhabited British Isles, having their own cultural and political basis. Growth of English nations, wealth and power. English Parliament seized monarchy in 1688. Now, Act of Union. The Act of Union, which was signed between England and Scotland in 1707 and resulted formation of United Kingdom, as it's proved with the name United, that is join different kingdoms. The United Kingdom of Great Britain, that meant England was able to impose its influence on Scotland. So Act of Union, England and Scotland in 1707, and the formation of United Kingdom of Great Britain, and resulted England imposes its influence on Scotland. The British Parliament was dominated by the English members, and slowly systematic suppression of Scottish culture, political institutions were systematically suppressed. The Catholic clans that inhabited the Scottish Highlands suffered terrible repression whenever they tried to assert their independence. British help Protestant. Do you know the difference between Catholics and Protestants?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the difference between Catholics and Protestants?
Ma'am, Catholics are the people who used to go to the church.
Yes. And Protestant?
And ma'am, Protestants were the people who used to do only the protests. They used to revolt and fight.
Yes, little bit. So when we are talking about Catholics, so Catholics, they believe in church power. And Protestant, as says by name, Protestant, protest. That means they believe in reforms. They protested against the church evils. The same story with Ireland also. Ireland was united with United Kingdom in 1801. Like Scotland in 1707, Ireland 1801. Ireland, which was a deeply divided country between Catholics and Protestants, and the English helped the Protestants of Ireland to establish their dominance over large population, which was Catholics. So Catholic revolts were suppressed, and after the failure of revolt against British dominance, Ireland was forcibly incorporated in 1801. Now, British nation was forced through the dominant English culture. The symbols were the British flag. And British flag, that means Union Jack, the national anthem, God Save Our Noble King, and the English language. The older nations survived only as subordinate partners in the Union. So now, these are the unifications, 3 unifications we have discussed.